Oh man. Trial former. February 23, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright?
Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas, but I'm not quite sure.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client.
Hmm.
The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
Miss Skype, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her.
And that is?
You're not a defense attorney. Ooh, get him.
I believe it's time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright.
He basically said, shut up, bitch, you're not a defense attorney. My first trial without a Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do this, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
She had like potions and shit in her bag. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 9. We gotta go against Edgeworth. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skyke. Defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. Here we go, we back at it again. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of our proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Basically, it's nothing personal. May the best man win. I would choose a path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment is to be made here in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The Chief Prosecutor, Lana Skyke, has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office locked.
Wow. He's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything I did.
However, she would not pay for the rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up drag queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? Like, I think I saw you in a video. Maybe, POV?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down, man. Oh, this is delicious. This is the best cooking I had in my life. My wife cannot even cook this well. Jesus Christ.
Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl.
Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession?
Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
My ears stick in the mud, aren't you? Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name and profession, now.
Me? Oh, the name's Angel Starr. Don't be forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. This is very tasty, Edgeworth. You should have a bite. Hurry it up. This is so good, so delicious. Alright, okay, one more bite. Okay, very well. Mr. Edgeworth, as you know, we usually call on police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edwards has said to the court, I am a professional. A, Graviar star, if you will, an idol.
Oh, what's a Graviar idol? What exactly does that mean? I'm not up to date with the kid lingo nowadays. Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was an adult video actress, Your Honor. And she's also had ties with Special Investigator with the police. She was the first-rate homicide detective.
But what? Mr. Star was a detective.
I know who you are. Cough up drag
Queen, Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A block is for prosecutor's office personnel. Block B is for visitors and clients. The chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, right?
The crime scene took place by car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with the knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately, but for her, there was a witness and the arrest was made on the spot.
And who was the valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, does it? Very well. Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are willing to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? Fucking hoe. Witness testimony. Somehow, I always knew the day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work.
Yeah!
Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointing tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of a knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed?
Are we not done yet, ho?
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examination. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's a detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several? Damn, so you're really getting around then. Might you be in the opening for another one?
Judge, I don't have time for that. Don't you know why they call her drag queen?
Yes, Anyway.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
Oh yes, where do I sign?
Judge!
Oh, no, I mean, I'll just stick to lunches, thanks.
Note to self.
Note to self. The judge had to think before replying.
The security guard room is in the loft in Block A. It's up on the 2nd level, so you can see everything from there. That'll be the room where the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in Block B. So she was in Block B when she witnessed crime.
Intuition now worked. The wire fence, so the prosecutor staying next to the dangerous carrier's car. The prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand, right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife in Detective Goodman's chest. Yeah, tip. She prosecutor holding a knife in her right hand. Wire fence, so she prosecutor next to the garage car. Said something was not finally home. Detective intuition. You said something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like,
how would you say?
I felt like he was being penetrated very deeply by a very inspirational force. Oh yes, it was like that feeling you get.
I have no idea what that means.
Damn, Judge, you ain't hitting it right. Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also detective?
Ah, yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy, with experience on the streets, a greenhorn.
Then I must be hard, yellowed and sharpest attack, and very thick, and lengthy in girth.
Yo, Judge! Chill.
Hey, yes, it was the odor of an old cheese match.
In any case, they're in the lot. I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Our fence, we passed in next to Garrett's car. By Garrett's car, you mean?
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
No, Mr. Edgeworth's.
Incidentally, the knife which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you say, you sure is the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her.
I don't like that look in her eye.
If she's telling the truth, then we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that.
Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her?
She probably was standing with a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying.
Well, I say it was a blade about 4 inches long. It's not very big, but it gets the job done. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Isn't that your knife at all?
Well... yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in locations of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill a person.
I don't know, perhaps Chief. Chicken salad set would be a better metaphor.
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late.
Yes.
The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. Ah, I see.
It's only a flash wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What are we gonna do? This is it? My sister's going to jail?
Let's just keep our heads down and figure this out, huh? For some reason, having her panic next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
How'd you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence for crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Ooh.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off detectives that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired?
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
No, that's very biased. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
I was on the way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. What we got as evidence? We got a whole bunch of shit. Alright, so we got investigator's ID, found at the crime scene. And it was Bruce Goodman. We can zoom in on it. And then they'll say nothing. The name and ID number are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goldman.
I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs.
What else would they use?
Letters, silly. There's a reason we have a written language in the first place.
True.
Sergeant Bruce Goldman. See? Wouldn't that be better?
Well, it does have a certain ring to it.
Exactly my point. Hee.
It doesn't take much to amuse her. Alright, we got the award. We got the knife. No traces of victim's blood. No prints. Edward pulled in at 5:12. I think the murder happened in half an hour. 4 p.m. And there was a call at 5:18. Edward pulled in at 5:12 because they this is after the murder. So hold up, because they say the victim. Let me check it out. Deceased Bruce Goldman. The date and time of death somewhere between 4 p.m. and 5:30. Cause of death, loss of blood from chest wound. Assessment wound was caused by a 5.4-inch bullet knife. Single stab wound was found. He didn't die immediately though. Like he was bleeding out. So that's why the time of when he got stabbed and the time that he actually died is like so long. Cause it's like 4 o'clock to 5:30. Like, and it was just one stab. The single stab one. Okay. Work of art, signs of object of gumshoe. Victor's memo found in the trunk. Okay. Alright, what's her testimony again? Somehow I always knew this day would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finding detective intuition. To the wire fence, so the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand. That's where your testimony's fucked up, because you say they were standing next to the car already. But Edward didn't pull in till like 5:12, and it said he was stabbed earlier than that. And it had at an hour and a half. At like 4. Yeah, I'm sure about that. So the chief prosecutor next to Garrett's car. But it's like, which one do I use? Do I use this one? Or this one? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. And she thrust the pointy tip of the knife in Detective Goodman's chest. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand. To the wire fence, the chief prosecutor next to Garrett's car. Yeah, we did this before. By Garrett's car, you mean yeah, Edward's car, yes. Edward's car. This time the knife was found. It was also Mr. Edward, wasn't it? Indeed it was. saw her from no feet, 30 feet. I'm certain it was her. Witness. In testimony, police said the following. Oh, okay. You are a biased witness. Earlier you stated before in your testimony that prosecutors are biased worms. So how is your testimony unbiased? You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a filter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring.
I believe I heard that tagline somewhere else. Could you cry plagiarism?
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunches is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I showed it to you, prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this most certainly is a defendant. Crime scene photo added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skype.
So what was the defendant doing at the time?
Yeah, we just got that new evidence in here. Yeah, right hand. Open up Edward's trunk. Let's go over a testimony again, because I just got that new dialogue. I was on the way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, and I sent something, perhaps it was my following home detective intuition at work. The wire fence saw the prosecutor standing next to a garage-looking car. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand, and she thrust the pointing tip of the knife in Detective Goodman's chest. At 18, at 12, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m.
Hey, check it out, there's a metal plate here.
Looks like the names of all the previous recipients are engraved on it.
Oh wow, one guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma, I guess he must be a foreigner?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet Miss Von Karma one day.
No, you wouldn't. When she says it, his name does have a kind of a ring to it. Give the Edward they get a murder. Yeah, you contradict her right here. I couldn't even tell. I'm like, what the fuck do I have to contradict? There's something here. Like, I couldn't figure that shit out. And I was stuck on the jump for like a good minute. I had to like come back to this game after like a few hours. I'm like, what the hell? I tried it like 2 times. I was like, what the hell can I contradict here? But it's this photo. As soon as she mentions this photo, like you hit her with that, and then you got her. Yeah, you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skite stab. You saw Miss Skite stab the victim with a knife? As I already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swear lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skite not holding a knife? It wasn't that obvious to me. I assumed like she was cleaning up after the murder, you know. But she did say that she took the picture at the moment of the crime. But like I didn't interpret that as at the exact moment, like exactly when it happened, you know. I assume like in general, but you know, they don't, well, I just interpreted it wrong. Then why is Miss Skite not holding the knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection.
That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth.
Yet, it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean, Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
See, that's what I initially thought. It was taken after. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter.
Huh?
See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photo.
Oh, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Ugh.
You got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like that, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go.
Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice.
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor's Skite was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, those are gloves.
Surgical gloves made from thin rubber, most likely why she would have those on. Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on?
Nah.
If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ugh.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
Murder was planned, or rubber gloves proved it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
The gloves were added. The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do the murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was premeditated crime.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I gotta think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? My sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness bit, shall we?
Don't smile like that.
time my organization was come. Wait, delivered it. Alright, I gotta prove it's not premeditated. Okay. It's not premeditated. It's not premeditated. Property of Lana Sky, last call made to her sister Emma on the day of the murder. Someone delivered murder. I saw something, perhaps we'll find one pictures of work. The wire fence while chief prosecutor standing next to the guy's car. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, trace of the victim's blood, no prints. No prints because she wore a glove when she did stabbing. Victim's memo found in the trunk of the car. The rubber gloves prove it. The rubber gloves prove it. Yeah, this is a tough case, man. Murder was planned. Rubber gloves prove it. Why Edgeworth's car though? I don't get that. Like, why Edgeworth? Yeah, why Edgeworth? Witness, do you know what this is?
Are you trying to test me? I sell boxes of lunch for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, the red car. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, the car. Or I belong to the prosecutor here, the defendant and the chief prosecutor for the district, right?
Mommy, prosecutors are bad people.
The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony.
What's that, Ricky?
In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skyke planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate a planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Exactly, it doesn't make sense.
Oh?
This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Order, I say. Order in the court. Here we go again. Order.
Great. Now the tide is turning in my favor.
Great job, Mr. Wright. My sister's good as free.
Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
Nice little joke there.
What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned.
Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah. The prosecution would care. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skyke, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else.
Very good, prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it weren't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really, no.
Witness testimony. Lana Skyke intended to murder Detective Goldman. That's why she called the victim all the way from the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up. Cause I read the autopsy report. It was just a single stab wound. That much is obvious. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does seem a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, you fucked up. I'm going right to it. Well, I'll press everything. I might get a piece of evidence, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Intended to murder Detective Goldman. You said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's what I'm about to tell you, Ricky.
That's what I'm about to tell you, Ricky.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Ricky, never interrupt the storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something half-baked here is alright as you.
Try not to confuse the defense and witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves. Nah, let's just get to it. Fuck it. If I get stuck, then I'll press everything else. There you go. You fucked up. Autopsy report. Cause he died from a single wound. She didn't stab him over and over. Stupid ass. You say she stabbed him again and again? But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound.
Oh, aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
What about my ejection? No one noticed?
Well, witness?
You got crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. She's come to all these fucking lies, yo.
Then tell us what you saw that... Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
She's not wearing it. Stupid. She's so fucking stupid. This demand, Miss Star, demand an explanation.
Objection. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
No. What?
Yeah, she's not fucking wearing it, stupid. It's like I was stuck on that one testimony. It was like the rest of this shit is just flowing through. Like, damn, man. I'm so pissed I didn't notice that shit earlier.
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be.
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edward prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there, a scarf. Not that, but something red, really.
Well now, where is it? Well now, where were we? The witness was giving us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
But what?
Very well. Witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things, accurately at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Witness testimony.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explaining her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler.
Whatever.
That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resisted the futile.
Whatever. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor, first of all. A cobra is kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Cross-examination.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run, but petition onto her side. But you were in Block B. How did you get over there? Well, you were in Block B, as you claim. So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
You say it quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her for more details. I like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The lunch lane car was... She was a visitor. Thus, she was parked in Block B.
Oh, she was a visitor, thus she was parked in Block B.
So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Star?
Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The Cough up drag queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Skype not get away? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say?
If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Her phone? She couldn't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the scene of the crime?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't see Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right.
Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney.
Lana's cell phone updated in the court record. The word muffler was overheard during the call.
I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Oh, I was going to ask the same thing.
I only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. And she picked up, you can't see her pick up the damn phone. Then she picked up the phone. She picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. You can't see her. And during that time, you climbed over the...
During that time, you climbed over the chain fence.
Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
The chief prosecutor made it.
You didn't see it all. The wall's in the way. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skype.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is marred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who together with chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough up all up.
Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, then you couldn't have seen her. You couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skype making that phone call. Stupid. When you're trying to lie, make sure you get your facts straight. The emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in Block B, you couldn't have seen it.
What? Ah!
Order, I say. What's the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies.
Yeah.
That's quite the claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about The order of events. She lied about the order of events. Miss Scott used her emergency phone before the murder.
Oh, I see. I hadn't thought about that.
That took the wind out of her sails.
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would anyone use the emergency phone before the murder?
Because it wasn't a murder. Huh?
Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. Wright.
You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right?
Oh, I fucked up. Wow. I guess that teaches me not to get excited before the evidence.
I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Yeah, where she saw it, because she must have been in block A, not B, right? Or what she saw. Well, I got tries, I mean. Excited about what she saw, in other words. She didn't see Miss Scott using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Mr. R? Cat got your tongue? Yeah, I fucked up.
I mean, maybe she really is.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Miss Kite tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about that. Witness to lie. I see. Let's say the witness did actually see Miss Kite using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Kite witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? She was in the security office right here. This is the only place she could have been. The security guard room.
Indeed, the security guard room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot.
So she would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being a part of the prosecutor office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime in the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, right? Well, Miss Starr?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could turn. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order, order, I say. Witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty. Is she talking about Miss Skite?
Mr. Wright, doesn't it strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
It still stands. I disagree, Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Mr. R witnessed a crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she was saw from Block B. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle of the view of the crime. Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is the only second floor, and she would have sort of a more 3D view. And this is important. Why? Perhaps like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Oh my god. Distance to the crime. Yeah, distance, right? Because she said she was 30 meters lying, right? Change distance between her and the scene of the crime. Yeah.
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans is quite clear.
This is, oh, it's still 30 meters?
I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not the question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Yeah. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now how long did it take you to go from there to scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skype? Well, witness?
You.
Yeah.
You ordered the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
I was bringing up PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jams for my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for a boyfriend?
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station.
This is a long fucking trial, man.
Before I knew it, what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene of the crime. But the door was locked, I couldn't open it.
She's just telling lies upon lies, and we already proved she's a fucking liar, so why should her credibility should be gone, like... So you ran all the way around there and climbed the fence? Shut the fuck up, yo.
That's why I had to go through the parking lot, Park B.
That's quite the detour. You had to run all that way around? Get the fuck out of here. That's such a bullshit. For real, man.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
For 5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But there was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful intervention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely. Uh-oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something. You're gonna eat that terrible lunch.
Do you have evidence to stop this? Evidence. Five minutes. Edra pulled in at like 5:12. And she made the call at 5:18. And it took her like 5 minutes from the scene of the crime, right?